Socrates, one of the most influential figures in Western philosophy, remains an enigma, largely because he left behind no written works of his own. Our understanding of his life and thought derives primarily from the writings of his students, most notably Plato and Xenophon, and to a lesser extent, from Aristophanes' comedic portrayal in the Clouds. Born in Athens around 470 BC, during the height of Athenian power and influence following the defeat of the Persians, Socrates' origins were modest. His father, Sophroniscus, was a stonemason, and his mother, Panarete, was a midwife. His early life remains largely undocumented, offering few concrete details about his upbringing or education. We know he received a typical Athenian education, including training in gymnastics, music, and literature. Initially, Socrates seems to have followed his father's trade, working as a stonemason for a period. But he gradually abandoned this profession to pursue a life dedicated to philosophical inquiry. A pivotal moment in Socrates' life occurred during the Peloponnesian War, 431-404 BC, a devastating conflict between Athens and Sparta, which profoundly shaped his philosophical outlook. The war's impact on Athens, its losses, and the political turmoil it engendered, led Socrates to question the foundations of Athenian society and the values that underpinned its governance. The Sophists, popular teachers of rhetoric and philosophy, were gaining prominence during this era. They offered persuasive arguments for a fee, often prioritizing victory in debate over the pursuit of truth. Socrates became increasingly critical of the Sophists, viewing their focus on rhetoric and persuasion as fundamentally misleading and morally corrupting. He believed that true wisdom lay not in accumulating knowledge or mastering persuasive techniques, but in rigorous self-examination and the pursuit of virtue. Socrates' philosophical method, known as the Elenchousos or Socratic method, was characterized by relentless questioning and critical analysis. Rather than lecturing or presenting his own doctrines, Socrates would engage his interlocutors in a dialogue, posing probing questions designed to expose inconsistencies in their beliefs and lead them toward a deeper understanding of themselves and the world. This method often led to aporia, a state of confusion or perplexity, as Socrates' interlocutors realized the limitations of their own knowledge and the inadequacy of their cherished beliefs. However, Socrates believed that this state of intellectual uncertainty was a necessary stage in the pursuit of wisdom, paving the way for genuine understanding. He famously declared, "I know that I know nothing," a paradoxical statement reflecting his awareness of the vastness of human ignorance and the limitations of human reason. Socrates' dialogues took place primarily in the public spaces of Athens, such as the marketplace, the gymnasium, and the Stoa, making him a visible and often controversial figure in Athenian society. He attracted a devoted following of students, including Plato, Xenophon, Antisthenes, and Alcibiades, who were drawn to his wisdom, integrity, and unconventional lifestyle. Alcibiades, a charismatic and ambitious Athenian politician, initially captivated Socrates, but their relationship later deteriorated due to Alcibiades' involvement in controversial political events. Socrates' unwavering commitment to questioning authority and challenging conventional wisdom often brought him into conflict with powerful individuals and institutions. His criticism of Athenian democracy, though not a direct call for its overthrow, was perceived by some as a threat to the established order. The rise of demagogues, populist leaders who appealed to the emotions of the masses rather than to reason and virtue, further fueled Socrates' skepticism about Athenian politics. In 399 BC, Socrates was formally charged with impiety and corrupting the youth of Athens by Meletus, a young and ambitious politician. The charges stemmed from his philosophical activities and his perceived disrespect for the Athenian gods. His defense, eloquently delivered during his trial, focused on the importance of self-examination and the pursuit of virtue, arguing that he was merely trying to make Athenians better citizens. However, the jury, swayed by political pressures and influenced by the rhetoric of his accusers, found him guilty by a narrow margin. Rather than recant his beliefs or offer a public apology, Socrates refused to compromise his principles and insisted on his innocence. When offered the opportunity to escape from prison with the help of his friends, Socrates declined, arguing that it would be unjust to disobey the laws of the city that had nurtured him. He accepted his sentence of death by drinking hemlock, a poisonous plant, in the presence of his friends and family. His execution, widely condemned by intellectuals and philosophers throughout history, marked the end of an extraordinary life dedicated to the pursuit of wisdom and the examination of the human condition. The death of Socrates profoundly influenced Western philosophy and continues to inspire critical thinking and ethical reflection to this day. Plato's dialogues, such as the Apology, Crito, and Phaedo, provide invaluable insights into Socrates' life, philosophical method, and final hours. Xenophon's Apology of Socrates and Memorabilia offer a different perspective on Socrates, emphasizing his practical wisdom and his teachings on piety and household management. Aristophanes' The Clouds, though a satirical portrayal, provides a glimpse into the popular perception of Socrates and his philosophical school. Socrates' influence extends beyond philosophy, impacting fields such as ethics, political theory, and education. His emphasis on reason, self-examination, and the pursuit of virtue remains a powerful call to action for individuals and societies striving for a more just and meaningful existence. Socratic method continues to be used in education and other fields to stimulate critical thinking and facilitate learning. The concept of the examined life, famously articulated by Socrates, remains a cornerstone of philosophical inquiry and personal development. Socrates' courage in defending his beliefs and accepting his fate has made him a symbol of intellectual integrity and moral courage. His legacy serves as a reminder of the importance of questioning authority, challenging conventional wisdom, and striving for a life guided by reason and virtue. The story of Socrates' trial and death continues to spark debate and inspire reflection on the relationship between the individual, the state, and the pursuit of truth. His insistence on upholding the rule of law, even when faced with injustice, demonstrates the importance of civic responsibility and commitment to principles. The Socratic problem, the challenge of distinguishing Plato's philosophical views from those of Socrates, remains a complex issue for scholars. Modern interpretations of Socrates' philosophy often explore his relevance to contemporary ethical and political challenges. The enduring fascination with Socrates lies in his embodiment of the philosophical ideal, a life dedicated to the pursuit of wisdom, the examination of the self, and the betterment of humanity.